Welcome back to the channel. In my last video, we talked about 7 things that stopped really mattering in your 30s. So in this video, we're going to talk about 7 things that start to really matter in your 30s. And we briefly touched on them in the last couple of videos, but I wanted to take a little bit more time to actually go in depth about them. So when you're in your 20s, a lot of things kind of really feel important and they really aren't. But as you get closer to your 30s, your priorities start to shift. So here are the 7 things that I personally think start to matter in your 30s. So the first one is the biggest one, and that is your time. I've said it before, and I will say it again. Time is like a currency that you can't buy back. Once it's gone, it's gone. There's no traveling back in time to fix things. There's no traveling forward in time. It's just now and what you have left. So you really need to focus on spending your time wisely. That's what you're working on in your personal life, career, relationships, friendships, family, all of it. So it is very important that you value that time and you make sure that you are being efficient with it. Your 20s are filled with, scrolling on your phone, drifting throughout the weekend, not really, structuring your days, stuff like that. 30s is the time to actually stop doing that and start adding some structure into your life. So moving on to bullet point number 2, your health. 20s are a little bit more forgiving than your 30s. I'm not even 30 yet, and I can start to feel it with my body. Between weightlifting, jiu-jitsu, and Muay Thai kickboxing, it is a lot on my body. If my sleep is not on point and my nutrition is not on point, my recovery is not on point and I can't train like I want to. That being said, as you get older, your body's just not able to recover like it used to. So you actually really have to be smart with how much you're training, whatever, you like to train in. But overall, in a grand scheme of things, what you do in your 30s in regards to your sleep, your fitness, your nutrition, your recovery, all of that plays into how you're going to be feeling in your 40s, your 50s, etc. So if you don't have yourself in good shape, you don't have a good diet that you follow, your sleep is not on point, and you're not getting that 7 to 9 hours of sleep every night, you should really try to work on that because it's going to make a huge difference. It's something I struggle with still, especially the sleep, but it's something I'm working on. I've been buying air purifiers for my house to improve sleep quality. I've removed my phone from my bedroom and got a regular alarm clock just set up so I don't have any distractions when I'm going to bed. Moving on to bullet point 3, financial stability. So not flashy wealth, but stability and freedom. In my 20s personally, I bought nice watches, I bought cars, that was my guilty pleasure, and I wasted a lot of money and just time chasing after those things for the validation of others. As I'm moving into my 30s, lining up with me personally, it's the stability and the freedom that I really want. I want to be able to, go wherever I want to go, when I want to go. Things like that. Not having to stress about, oh, I have to do XYZ because I need to pay for XYZ. It's not a healthy mindset to live in, and it's honestly like a ball and chain around your ankle. Money stops becoming about the status that you're after, and it starts becoming more about that peace of mind that you're kind of looking for. So things that you should probably have put together as you're approaching your 30s. If you're already in your 30s, you would hopefully have this by now, but an emergency fund, 3 to 6 months of expenses. Again, this isn't financial advice, but that's what almost every financial advisor recommends. That's what I follow. And that you invest early. When you have those two things in your system built, it leads to clarity and peace of mind and no stress. So if you're not on the track for financial stability, I highly recommend you sit down and take a look at your budget, take a look at what you need to do, and define what financial stability looks like for you. So bullet point 4, the people that you surround yourself with. In your 20s, you have a ton of acquaintances. They aren't really deep relationships. People come and go. It's a weird time. You think people are your friends, they turn out not to be. It is what it is. When you're approaching your 30s or you're in your 30s, the quality of the people that you have in your life it's way more important than the quantity. Um, there's a saying that goes along the lines of the people you spend your time with is a reflection of who you are, or the average of the 5 people you spend your time with is the reflection of who you are. However, it's said. But basically, if you spend most amount of time with people that are, kind of screwing off and not really heading anywhere in their lives, that's most likely going to become who you are. If you surround yourself with people that are supportive of your dreams, chasing after their dreams, and you have, fruitful discussions about progressing yourself in whatever area it may be or growing, you're most likely going to start moving in the direction that you want to start moving in. So I highly recommend taking it time to sit down and realize, who kind of really needs to be in your life and who is more of just like an acquaintance. Um, I know I value just supportive friendships, people with similar goals and values and morals like myself. Um, and as I've started getting near my 30s, I have really realized that I have fewer friends, but the friends that I do have are much deeper connections and they're just better relationships overall. So that is what I'm starting to value a lot in my 30s in terms of people. Um, Next up, bullet point 5, your environment, where you live. Do you have a clean space? This affects you a lot more than you think. If your place is cluttered and cramped and you don't have the ability to move, your mind is going to absorb that same type of feeling. You're not going to feel very open-minded. You're going to feel cluttered. You'll have brain fog. Same to say if your place is dirty. So take a look at where you're living. If it's cluttered, get rid of stuff, sell it, throw it out, donate it, whatever resonates with you. And make sure, most importantly, it's clean. When you have a freed up space and a clean space, your mind is going to be a little bit more free. Where you work also plays an effect on you a little bit more too. I can personally speak for myself. At my job, there's a couple people that I don't really resonate with. They're a little bit chaotic, and when I'm around them, my environment becomes a little bit chaotic and I don't like it. That being said, it's a good idea to do what you can to make your environment the most constructive that it can be. So that means, like I said, clean up after yourself, get rid of things you don't need. Your environment either pulls you forward or pushes you back or holds you back based on where you're trying to head in life. So, bullet point number 6, discipline. Motivation is a bunch of crap. It disappears fast. When I started my fitness journey, it was purely out of motivation because I was tired of being the fat kid. I'm lucky that eventually I got hooked and I just stuck with it because discipline is what has carried me this far. Motivation has been out the window for a long time. Many days at this point, I don't even feel like going to the gym, but I have to for myself, my health, my future family, etc. It all comes down to the discipline. Your discipline creates progress and success. And, if you're not disciplined in your workouts, your work ethic, and your habits, you're not really going to go far in life because, well, I don't want to say you're not going to go far in life, but it's going to be a lot harder to progress in life or progress where you want to be in life because if you don't have the discipline to stick to your systems, your life is going to be lived in chaos, and a life lived in chaos just spirals. It just goes in circles because you don't see a North Star. There's a little bit of that corporate action for you. You don't see the North Star where you want to go. So your life becomes a result of the habits that you keep and repeat. So get good habits, repeat them over and over and over again, especially on the days that you really don't want to. They are the most important days to make sure that discipline is locked in place. Moving on to the last point, peace of mind. In your 30s, you're going to start to largely value being calm, being stable, being emotionally mature, emotionally secure. And at the end of the day, you just want less chaos in your life. You're going to find yourself not wanting to deal with drama. You're going to keep your circle small. You're going to keep to yourself more. And it's better that way. You don't want 1,000 people in your business. You want your close friends, your family, if you have that relationship with them. Sometimes it's better to even keep family out of certain things. But at the end of the day, you're just going to want less chaos. You're going to want more stability, and you're just going to want peace. Peace of mind at this stage in life is way more valuable than any type of excitement. Trust me. Not even 30 yet, but I know when my days are calm, my days are structured, and I know what's going on, I'm as happy as a clam. Sure, I still get excited for things, but I'd rather see that peace of mind and that structure every single day than being excited about XYZ. Don't get me wrong, I still go out and have some unstructured days every now and then, but I do feel a little bit off the next day or two because I'm still trying to recoup, but life is about balance. I stick to my routines 98% of the time, and that's all that matters. Consistency over perfection. So these are some simple but effective pieces of the puzzle to promote what I think is happiness within yourself, because when you have all of this aligned and you figure out your purpose or where you want to go, you just have a lot easier of a time kind of just cutting the BS out and figuring out what matters to you the most. And what matters to you the most is all that really does matter at the end of the day. It doesn't matter about what other people think. Whatever makes you happy is what you need to stick to and just keep chugging along forward. So again, real quick, 7 things that really start to matter in your 30s: time, your health, financial stability, the people you surround yourself with, your environment, discipline, and peace of mind. So if you've made it this far, I appreciate it. Please like and subscribe and leave a comment down below with what you think might be some of the things that matter to you in your 30s. Thank you.